Hello and thank you for joining us for the Michigan Credit Union League member update for the second quarter of 2018. To start off, I'm excited to announce some changes to our management team, all effective on August 13th. We're very pleased to have Patty Corkery joining our team as our new EVP and Chief Operating Officer and General Counsel for the Michigan Credit Union League. Patty has worked most of her career at Holtzman Corkery, most recently as a partner. She brings a wealth of industry knowledge, technical skills related to our advocacy efforts, and tremendous leadership traits. As you know, Ken Ross left this position after serving for 5 years to become the chief lobbyist for the financial services firm John Hancock. Joining Patty in this new role will be someone familiar to many of you. Karen Marion rejoins our team as Senior VP of Advocacy, reporting to Patty. Karen worked previously on our team as VP of Government Affairs before taking an important assignment as Chief Policy Officer for our Secretary of State, Ruth Johnson. Now, both Patty and Karen are attorneys with the kind of technical and communication skills to help move the MCUL forward on behalf of credit unions with our tremendous team. We're also excited to promote Renee Wirt to the position of Senior VP of Education and Communications. Renee has been an incredible leader in our organization for the past 10 years, and in her now expanded role, Patty will have 2 senior advisors in Karen and Renee who will work with our awesome team to make the Michigan Credit Union League the best state credit union association in the country. I'm very proud of our staff, and these new additions will only make us stronger. Now, shifting topics, I'd like to applaud the individuals, credit unions, and credit union chapters who stepped up and offered support to the flood victims of Michigan's Upper Peninsula. As you know, Governor Snyder declared a state of disaster for Menominee and Houghton counties on June 19th. Heavy storms through the weekend prior brought up to 7 inches of rain in some areas, and historic flash floods led to extensive damage. In addition to widespread flooding and mudslides, more than 60 sinkholes were reported on the Keweenaw Peninsula. In response, MCUL and the Michigan Credit Union Foundation each pledged $10,000 for the flood victims. The combined $20,000 will be provided to Michigan Tech Employees Credit Union and Torch Lake Federal Credit Union in an effort to help offset flood damages incurred by members, such as furnace, drywall, flooring, and other structural damages. A couple of Northern Michigan chapters have also helped out with contributions, as well as credit unions, so we're heartened by the support of the Michigan credit union community. We're saddened to see our communities in distress, but as I said, it's encouraging to see the immediate outpouring of support from our credit union community. As of right now, more than $44,000 has been collected, and our friends at Torch Lake Federal Credit Union and Michigan Tech Employees Credit Union have received 36 applications from members with estimated losses of more than $750,000. Those wanting to show their support with a donation can visit mcul.org. Click on the banner to support UP flood victims and help the nearly 950 homes affected by this disaster. I encourage everyone to support our friends in the UP and show our credit union communities what people helping people is all about. And now for some issue updates, beginning with legislative affairs. At the state level, I'm pleased to report that remote e-notary was passed out of the Senate on June 12th and is headed to the governor's desk. Introduced by Representative Farrington and supported by the League, this bill will make electronic notarization easier for both credit unions and their members. A related e-notary bill, also supported by the League, SB 664, was passed out of the Senate unanimously with a 37-0 vote and is now in the House Financial Services Committee. While Michigan has adopted the Uniform Electronic Transaction Act, it doesn't participate in electronic notarization. Under this legislation, the Secretary of State and Department of Technology Management and Budget would approve technologies for notaries to use if they choose to notarize documents electronically. House Financial Services is expected to take up the bill this fall. Finally, the lien holder notification bill, HB 5181, was passed out of the House and went to the Senate in late April. Our Government Affairs team is now meeting with members of the Senate Judiciary Committee in preparation of a fall hearing. Please continue to reach out to your representatives and encourage their support as each of these bills moves through the legislative process. As our members know, both state and federally chartered credit unions are competing in a rapidly evolving industry. That's why the passage of S-2155, our federal advocacy focus, is now shifting to a modernization of the Federal Credit Union Act. In 2016, the Michigan legislature enacted a comprehensive six-bill package that brought important updates to the Michigan Credit Union Act. More than 40 reforms were signed by the governor on stage at the 2016 AC&E in Detroit. These provided much-needed regulatory relief, expanded powers, and gave credit unions clarity operationally in a variety of areas. To ensure the existence of a healthy and robust dual charter system, we now need a similar update to our Federal Credit Union Act. And while FCUA modernization has no pending legislation in Congress, the Michigan Credit Union League is actively working with CUNA and our peer leagues to identify key areas of the Act that need to be updated or revised. We'll provide more information and insights on this in the coming months. As always, one of the easiest and most effective ways to support credit union-friendly initiatives is by supporting MCUL's state and federal PACs. This is especially important in an election year. Benefiting our state PAC, the Lapel Pen campaign continues to be a strong fundraising option. Currently, more than 1,700 lapel pens have been sold in Michigan, raising over $135,000 for the state PAC. While always available online, our government affairs team also continues to make lapel pens available at all of our MCUL events. Benefiting our federal PAC, the Grand Raffle campaign is in full swing, with tickets being shipped to credit unions. To date, 69 credit unions have signed on to participate in this raffle. Summer credit union visits will focus on driving up the number of participating credit unions. Turning attention to regulatory affairs, we're closely watching the implementation of S-2155, the Economic Growth, Regulatory Relief, and Consumer Protection Act. MCUL's regulatory affairs staff is currently working with the CFPB on reclassification of 1 to 4 unit non-owner occupied residential loans. This is an ongoing process, so we urge all credit unions to stay involved as new rules are being written and NCUA issues more requests for comment. Also in Reg Affairs, cannabis banking has been a hot topic across the country and in Michigan. And with good reason. In 2017, Colorado marijuana-related businesses generated a record $1.5 billion in revenue. In addition, the state collected upward of $247 million in taxes and fees. That's just in a single year. With recreational cannabis set to hit the Michigan ballot this November, many of our credit unions are taking interest. Last month, I touched on MCUL's newly created Cannabis Banking Toolkit. We released hard copies of the toolkit during 3 cannabis banking sessions at our annual convention. The kit's now available in digital form on our website. It includes guidance and resources built around state and federal regulations, business framework and implementation guides, sample policy documents, and tools for risk mitigation. As we continue to collaborate with sister leagues and credit unions operating in states that have already legalized both recreational and medicinal marijuana, we'll continue to update and grow our resources. For credit unions and individuals interested in accessing the toolkit, downloadable content is password protected on our website. This content is available to all league-affiliated credit unions. That's 100% of Michigan's credit unions. And if you'd like to access the kit but don't have login credentials, you can request those by contacting MCUL for support. Turning to our credit union awareness efforts, I'd like to talk about promoting the credit union difference. First, it's important to remember that we have a strong national partner in the Credit Union National Association. When credit unions unite under a shared brand, they're able to tap into a level of reach and resources that no single credit union or single state league can match on their own. We need to leverage that to its full extent. In August of 2017, MCUL began working with research firm and CUNA partner GPG. Working in partnership with GPG and CUNA, MCUL ran parallel research projects baselining consumer perceptions and awareness of credit unions. We did this for 2 reasons. Primarily, we wanted to uncover consumer insights that would help us continue to drive effectiveness with our CU Link campaign here in Michigan. Secondly, we wanted Michigan data that could compare directly to national benchmarks. In this study, GPG found that nationally the greatest barrier or myth that gets in the way of people joining credit unions was the perception that people are not eligible to join a credit union. However, that wasn't the case here in Michigan. With close to 53% of our population already belonging to a credit union, the biggest myth or barrier here in Michigan was the perception of limited access to funds and that credit unions are less tech-savvy than large banks. The idea that credit unions simply couldn't match the convenience and accessibility of other providers. This research-based messaging is what we're using to drive our CU Link campaign here in Michigan to help credit unions dispel some of these myths about credit unions. Starting this month, MCUL is working with CUNA and GPG on a second tier of consumer research. The data collected will help us map out our next steps for the 2019 CU Link cooperative advertising campaign. We are currently exploring ways to incorporate CUNA's new Open Your Eyes campaign. By syncing up with CUNA's theme as soon as next year, we're offering continuity that expands beyond geographic borders and reaches people at home and while they travel. And in fact, many credit unions here in Michigan have operations in other states. Just weeks ago, CUNA unveiled their goal to raise $100 million over the next 3 years to promote credit unions across the country and sustain the first ever, in my memory, national credit union awareness campaign. As CUNA continues to develop their campaign in the upcoming months, we understand the importance of localized media, and we are working to ensure that Michigan credit unions are gathering the full benefits of cooperative advertising in their home markets. By combining the successes of our Michigan CU Link campaign with the national CUNA Open Your Eyes campaign, we'll be able to tap into an extraordinary level of reach and awareness. Now, we have some work to do. We need to talk with our committee and our MCUL board and explore the opportunities for syncing up our Michigan campaign with CUNA's Open Your Eyes campaign. But that's a process that we'll be working on this fall. Now, consumers will get their first look at the Open Your Eyes campaign during the week of International Credit Union Day. For the second consecutive year, our partner, Michigan-based Gas Station TV, is partnering with CU Solutions Group to offer a full week of free credit union advertising for every league across the country in cooperation with CUNA. Gas station TV locations from each state will feature customized spots showcasing the benefits of membership and leading consumers to a credit union locator. In the meantime, we would discourage our Michigan credit unions from contributing to the CUNA awareness campaign at this time unless they do so in addition to their state-level contribution to the Michigan CU Link cooperative advertising campaign. I may be asking our MCUL leadership for some funds, actually, that the MCUL could contribute to CUNA on behalf of all Michigan's credit unions for the Open Your Eyes campaign. We'd like to keep the cooperative advertising contributions localized in Michigan, where our credit unions get more bang for the buck, and even in local markets. And of course, the MCUL CU Link campaign also matches these credit union contributions dollar for dollar. So we want to keep our state campaign strong and vibrant, look for ways to sync up the messaging with Open Your Eyes, and certainly if credit unions feel that there's value in supporting a national contribution in addition to the state campaign, that's great. And then, as I said, one last thing, we're going to see if we can contribute an amount of money on behalf of our entire Michigan credit union community that could come from the Michigan Credit Union League. So if you'd like more information on these developments, just visit our website or talk to one of our team members. Finally, as we covered in last month's priority report, our education and events team just wrapped up another successful annual convention and exposition. In addition to across-the-board enhancements to event technology, breakout sessions, and general operations, the team made major strides with networking and fundraising efforts. We've seen strong year-over-year growth with our Corks for a Cause wine pull, benefiting the Michigan Credit Union Foundation. The wine pull raised $4,100 in 2016, $10,000 in 2017, and more than $22,000 this year at our annual convention. Thank you so much for your support. These funds continue to make our Michigan Credit Union Foundation an ongoing success with grants available to help credit unions here in Michigan. Over the past few months, Michigan Credit Union Foundation sponsored the state finals of the Michigan Personal Finance Challenge, several teen financial reality fairs, and the Money Smart Kids Read initiative. These events have a powerful impact on thousands of Michigan families and make it easier for credit unions to connect with their communities in pursuit of helping with financial education. If your credit union is considering a financial education event or community program, both large and small dollar grants are available through the Michigan Credit Union Foundation. Just visit the Michigan Credit Union Foundation website or MCUL.org for more information. Now, the foundation funds also support credit union professional development through educational scholarships and training programs. This year, the foundation is helping almost 100 credit union employees become certified credit union financial counselors through CUNA's eSchool program. Since the program started in 2010, more than 600 Michigan credit union professionals have gained their certification through our enhanced program. Now, beyond our success with the foundation, this was one of the best years for our AC&Es in both attendance and quality. Compared to previous years, we've seen attendance and attendee satisfaction steadily rise. This year, 111 credit unions sent nearly 600 employees. That included 89 credit union CEOs. We take this as a cue that our focus on the innovation and growth of our events is guiding us in the right direction, and we appreciate very much the support of our Michigan credit union community for our big event. Our education team's expansion reaches beyond the AC&E, however. They're working to enhance events such as our Executive Summit in September, the Fall Leadership Development Conference also in September at Traverse City, while adding new events like Call Center Conference and Intentional Leadership Seminars. The Call Center Conference in particular is a highly requested addition to our annual lineup. This year's event will be held October 29th and 30th at the MSU Henry Center in Lansing. As an added benefit to attendees, the conference will include tours of LAFCU's and MSU Federal Credit Union's call centers, two of the most advanced call center operations in the state. And of course, many of our achievements through the second quarter were made possible in large part by the strong financial backing of CU Solutions Group. MCUL's two-thirds ownership in CUSG allows us to provide high-level services and resources to our Michigan credit unions at a very low dues cost. As many of you have heard, CUSG and CUNA Strategic Services recently announced a new expanded partnership agreement. Effective immediately, CSS will provide marketing and support for CUSG's ADA compliance services, web design and hosting, as well as CUSG's credit union member discount programs with TurboTax and Sprint. Our new agreement with CSS also covers our new mobile banking enhancement suite, LifeSteps Wallet. While our tech solutions and product development teams continue to grow the core LifeSteps Wallet application, last month we expanded its product line with the release of LifeSteps Wallet Lite, which is geared towards smaller asset-sized credit unions. It contains the parent app's core functionality, but with fewer customization options and at a reduced price point. Since the Lite version's launch last month, the team has already closed 3 sales, so we're encouraged by the early response from credit unions. In addition to our expanded relationship with CSS, we're also moving forward with a premier partnership agreement with AudioEye. AudioEye has helped CUSG position itself as a Tier 1 provider of ADA web compliance solutions. And with this new agreement, CUSG will own the rights to the entire credit union vertical, both domestic and international. Well, beyond new agreements and partnerships, we're generating strong growth with our core products and services. The Sprint Credit Union Member Cash Rewards Program remains strong through the first half of 2018. This is a national program, and our Michigan Credit Union's support has been vitally important to its success. Through May of this year, credit union members activated close to 190,000 new lines with Sprint. That's compared to roughly 52,000 new lines over the same period last year. What an increase of 265%. I'm also pleased to report that this past quarter, the program reached the milestone of 1 million registered lines with Sprint for credit union members. So thank you for your support here in Michigan, and we thank our credit unions from across the country as well. This growth is important to credit unions because it means more of your members are benefiting from the Sprint incentives. There are then more marketing reimbursement dollars for the credit union, and we're working on process enhancements that will help incentivize members to have a checking account and debit card issued by your credit union. So thank you for helping us grow the Sprint program for the benefit of credit unions and their members. To boost sales in media services, our Focus IQ marketing team entered into a reseller agreement with Velasys, a large media delivery company that optimizes digital advertising campaigns at scale under a white label B2B offering. With 58,000 local, regional, and national clients, the company has an effective process for tapping into hard-to-reach markets. Shifting to CUSG's Performance Solutions division, 5 credit unions have already begun the process of implementing the division's new Planning Pro software, and we're on track to hit our goal of 25 Planning Pro sales by the end of the year. Feedback on the new strategic and operational planning tool has been very positive, as several credit unions have suggested that by implementing the software, they'll be able to ensure confidence and focus on driving results in their credit union. In addition to being a standalone application, Planning Pro is now integrated with our flagship software product, Performance Pro and Compies, both of those products. And the growing suite of HR products has an exciting roadmap that includes further integration with learning management software, the development of a mobile app, and tighter integrations with payroll software. Also, the division's new board relations and governance tool, Governese, is well on track to be launched as soon as the fourth quarter of this year. Well, that's all for the second quarter of the MCUL and Affiliates Priority Report. Thank you once again for your support and engagement with the League, with CUNA, and with CU Solutions Group. As always, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or one of my team members with your comments and questions. See you next month.